Okay, this is going to be the last video on quadratic equations. What we're going to look at today is finding the equation, so finding a quadratic equation just by looking at the graph of that equation. So it's kind of like the reverse of the very first thing that we did. So let's just say we have a graph and someone's actually plotted the quadratic equation for us, and it looks something like this. Well, we can have a look at this graph and we can say, okay, this graph is crossing the x-axis at alpha and beta, if you remember that we called them that. And so we know from what we've done before that we can write the equation as y equals x take alpha as one factor and x take beta as another factor. That's just our standard factorized form. So this actually is a very simple way just to get most of the equation from the graph. There's one final trick though, because we know that the graph goes through alpha and beta, but we don't know whether it might be a little bit narrower and come down like this. Alternatively, the graph could even still go through alpha and beta, but actually be completely upside down. So in order to cater for all of those possibilities, we just put a number out the front, which we call lowercase a. And so then the trick for finding the equation of the graph is to figure out what a is. Now if we want to find a, what we're going to do is substitute a known point on the line and solve for a. So if we're going to find out what a is, we need to know another point on the line. Now that could be maybe the y-intercept, or it could be a point over here or a point over here. Any point will enable us to find a, and I'll show you how to do that with the example. Okay, so in this example, we have a graph, and it's coming down, it's crossing the x-axis at x equals -1, it's crossing the y-axis at y equals -6, and then it crosses the x-axis again at x equals 3. So straight away, I can say y equals a, we don't know what a is yet, times by x plus 1, that's for our first x-intercept, and then multiplied by x take 3, that's for our second x-intercept. Now the trick is just to figure out what a is. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to substitute in a known point, and in this case, the point that I know is the y-intercept. So to do that, I'm just going to substitute 0, -6, which is that point there. So y is going to become -6. Still got my a. X is going to become 0. So I've just taken this equation and I've substituted in these two coordinates. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange it to figure out what a is. So let's just multiply out these brackets. 0 plus 1 is 1, times by -3. It's going to be -3. And so that means a must be -6 divided by -3, which is 2. So therefore, my actual equation is y equals 2 times x plus 1 times x take 3. And if I wanted to, I could then expand that and get that into my expanded form. But I'm just going to leave it there within factorized form for now. Okay, I'm going to do one more example. So this example is quite similar, except my graph's going to look a little bit different. This time my graph is upside down, and we know that it goes through two x-intercepts, x equals -5 and x equals +5. I don't actually know the y-intercept in this case, but I do know that there's a point on the line up here which is located at x equals 3, y equals 8. So process is still the same. I'm going to start off with y equals a times my two factors. So in this case, that's going to be x plus 5 multiplied by x take 5. And I'm just going to start by doing exactly the same thing. So I'm going to substitute the point that I know is on the line. So this time y equals 8. I'll leave my a. X is 3. So if I multiply out these brackets, evaluate these brackets, I've got 3 plus 5 is 8, 3 take 5 is -2. So 8 equals -16 times a. So a must be 8 divided by -16, which if we simplify that down is -1/2. So if I go to my final equation now, I can substitute a back in. So y is -1/2 times by x plus 5 times x take 5. And so there I've got my final equation. If I wanted to, I could expand that out. I can just do that now. So that'll be x squared. We'll do the full thing. Take 5x plus 5x. Take 25. So in this case, the x terms actually cancel out, and we'd expect that because this is a symmetrical graph about the y-axis. And we could even expand it even further. Okay. Oh. Apologies, that should not be there. That would be our final answer. Okay, so just to summarize, all you have to do to find the equation, first of all, look at your x-intercepts and set up your equation in factorized form with this letter A out the front. The next step is always to substitute a point that you know on the line. Now, if you don't know any other points on the line, there's nothing you can do. You're never going to be able to figure out A. So you normally will know either the y-intercept or another point on the line. So substitute those in for x and y, rearrange to figure out what A is, and then that can go back into your original equation. It's as easy as that. Okay, thanks for watching.